Hey ladies and gents, it's me, True Brilliance, back with a video. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the famed North and South Node placements in astrology. So this is going to be a whole series going through all of the North and South Node placements in this video, what it means, what are the things that you need to work on, so forth and so on, okay? So you're going to get the full lowdown, the full tea sip, okay, in this video. Just to let you guys know, I am an astrologer. I have a business called Queens and Thrones where we help you heal through the divine feminine energy. So if you would like to get any natal chart analysis done, any astrology work, any personal healing sessions or spiritual sessions done with me, check out my website. It's going to be down below, the link to it, so you can sign up for that. I also do teach personal classes as well. Okay, so getting into the North and South Node energy. Now, the North and South Node are 2 points in your natal chart. If you were just to go look up a free natal chart online, when you're going through your placements, it'll most likely be seen as the true node. Okay, some of them say North Node, some of them say True Node. Okay, so the True Node is also another word for North Node placement. Okay, and whatever your North Node or your True Node placement is, that's your North Node, and then the South Node is always going to be the opposite sign. So you don't necessarily have to see the South Node placement, just it's always the opposite sign of your North Node all the time, okay? So you're going to want to pay attention to what sign that your North Node or your True Node is in, and you're also going to want to pay attention to the house that it's in, because the house placement is important as well. This video, we're just going to be talking about the sign placements, but you will also be able to get some information about your house placement as well, because the energy is going to be a little bit similar as well, okay? But I will do a house placement North Node and South Node video at a later time. This will just be for you to get the basics, okay? So another way to identify the North Node placement in your chart, like if you have one of the circular astrology charts, it looks like a set of headphones, okay? That's what the symbol of it, the astrology symbol of the North Node is. It looks like a headphone. So it's like a round circle and like two balls on either end. Okay, it kind of looks like a horseshoe with two balls on the end. Okay, that's the symbol for the North Node. Okay, so the North and South Node are 2 points of the moon, and it's said to represent our karmic destiny, our reason for reincarnating back into this realm. Okay, so the reason why the South Node is important for you to know is because the South Node is usually the energy that we come into this life carrying over from our past lives. Okay, so the South Node placement covers the energy that we have been operating in for a very long time, and that we are very used to operating in this energy, okay? And it's kind of like second nature to us. But the South Node placement is no longer helping us. It's actually hindering us in this lifetime, because it's causing us to fall back on old habits and old ways of being that are outworn in our life and really aren't helping us to reach the next level in our life. Your North Node placement, which is always the opposite of the South Node, is actually the energy that we need to be moving toward in order to balance out our South Node energy. Okay, so we actually need to be learning the ways of the North Node, practicing the ways of the North Node in order to evolve our consciousness and to take our lives to the next level. Because basically, think of the North and South Node like two scales, okay? The South Node is tipped up here and the North Node is down here, okay? So basically, because we've been focused so much on our South Node energy, we are out of balance, okay? And we have too much energy focused here. So what we need to do is practice our North Node placement to bring the energy back here and to balance us out, okay? So a lot of people don't know that the South Node really, really influences who we are, our overall personality. So your South Node placement usually influences you for the first 30 years of your life. Most people are totally unconscious of this energy. I personally was unconscious of it until my late 20s, and I actually didn't start feeling comfortable practicing my North Node until after my Saturn return. Your Saturn return comes at the age 28, between 28 and 30. So people usually don't get the hang of practicing their North Node until after 30 years old or after their Saturn return has ended. However, the younger you are and the sooner that you're getting this information, the better, because the sooner you start practicing your North Node energy, that is the faster that you're going to evolve. That's the faster that you're going to be going toward your soul evolution and the purpose, the reason why you incarnated back into this realm. Because it's said that the North Node is so important that it is the entire reason why we incarnated back into this world, is to practice the energy of the North Node to balance out our past life karmas and our past life issues. Okay, so the sign that the North Node is in and the house is very, very important. Also, any aspects that the planets are making to either one of these points is very, very important as well, because if you have a lot of planets aspecting your South Node, that means that you have a lot of energy that's pulling you back to that old way of being. So you really have to work like twice as hard to overcome your South Node, because you have so much energy focused on South Node areas. On the flip side of it though, if you have a lot of your planets, especially the more positive planets, aspecting your North Node, the energy that you're already going toward, this can actually be very beneficial to you, okay? Because you have energy in this lifetime that is helping you reach your North Node, okay? And so it comes a little bit more natural to you, okay? Same thing as if your sun sign is in the same sign as your North Node, that's going to be beneficial to you. If your moon sign is in the same sign as your North Node, that's going to be beneficial to you. If your Venus is in the same sign as your North Node, that's going to be beneficial to you, because that means that you came into this world born already with the energy that you need to practice your North Node. And it can work in the reverse. If your sun, moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars is in the same sign as your South Node, you, depending on what the rest of your chart looks like, because it always depends on the rest of your chart, you may have to work a little bit harder, okay, to break away from some of those South Node tendencies, because you already naturally have that, especially if it's like your sun or your ascendant or your moon. Okay, so that's just to give you guys a little cover story on that. I talked at length about my South Node placement and my South Node experience, how I came into awareness about it, how it changed my life, and I will link that down below as well, so you guys can watch my South Node video about how it has affected me personally, and you guys can get more insight into that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get into the personal placements of the North and South Node. Okay, so now we're going to get into the Virgo and Pisces axis when it comes to the North Node and the South Node. So we're going to be talking about North Node. We're going to be talking about North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, and North Node in Virgo, South Node in Pisces. Okay, so let's start off with North Node in Virgo, South Node in Pisces. Now, this is a very hard South Node to have, having your South Node in Pisces, because Pisces, like when your South Node is in Pisces, you've been somebody that has been used to going with the flow in your past life. So you were somebody that was very self-sacrificing in your past lives, meaning that you would give up your wants and your needs or your ego in order to satisfy other people, because that is the nature of Pisces energy. Pisces energy is about self-sacrifice. So, and also you were really taken care of by the universe in your past life. So you used to like just float through life, okay? Because that's what Pisces do. They just float through life. But Pisces have faith. They have a very strong faith in the universe, and a lot of people don't talk about that. Like the reasons why Pisces just go with the flow and seem like they don't direct their lives in any direction. They don't do that because they really trust the current and the flow of the universe, and they trust the universe to deliver them to their destination. So that's the kind of attitude they have. But in this life, you can't have that attitude, because you're supposed to be incorporating the energies of Virgo, okay? And we'll get to that in a second. But people that have South Node in Pisces, you could, like, on the darker side of things, you could be somebody that could have suffered with addiction, drug addiction, drinking addiction. This is on the negative side of it. You could have been somebody that was addicted to relationships, because Pisces can rule addictions to a lot of things. Addiction to love, addiction to drugs, addictions to just a ton of bad habits. Also, when you have your South Node in Pisces, you may attract a lot of people to you that may want to use you in some sort of way, because you kind of have this vibration where it's like you're out to help everybody, and you're very open to people. You're very compassionate. Pisces South Node people come into this world being very, very compassionate people. And they have a lot of love to give, but you may find that every time that you try to do that for people, you always get taken advantage of. So Pisces South Node really needs to watch out for people taking advantage of you, and you really need to learn discernment, which is a trait of Virgo. So with your North Node being in Virgo, the things that you guys need to learn most importantly is how to discern reality, okay? Because South Node in Pisces, like I said, kind of has this free-for-all attitude where it's like, it's all love. Like, Pisces South Node reminds me kind of like of a hippie vibe, like somebody that's just like, it's all love, everything's all good, like, everybody come on, come in, like, I'll take care of you type of vibe. And you can't, every time that you try to do that this lifetime, the universe is going to punish you in some sort of way, because Pisces is the sign of no boundaries. It's the sign of the boundless. Okay, so Pisces have a way of blending their energy with everybody around them, and then they don't know how to separate their energy from other people. So they look at themselves and the other person as being one, because Pisces is a sign of oneness. So they don't see any separation between themselves and other people. So one of the lessons you're supposed to be learning is boundaries, healthy boundaries, which Virgo can teach you a lot about. But it could be very hard going from Pisces energy into Virgo energy, because Virgo energy can be very strict. It's very detail oriented. It's very straight by the book. And it's very much into structure and its daily routine and keeping up on the details of life. So this is taking care of your hygiene, taking care of your hair, your skin, your teeth, having a schedule that you run by every day. And we all know that Pisces are not good with schedules. Why? Because they're used to going with the flow. They're a water sign. So, you know, Pisces, they just basically go wherever the spirit takes them, okay? But with the North Node being in Virgo, no, you need to plan out your life. You need to have a plan for your life, because if you come into this life with South Node Pisces energy, you may not even have a plan for what it is that you are trying to do in this life, or what it is that you're trying to become. So you really need to get focused, and you need to get down to the facts, okay? And that's another thing. When you have South Node and Pisces, you can blur the lines between facts and reality. It can also make you somebody that daydreams a lot, or you may be under a lot of illusions. So Virgo rules reality, what's real and what can be proven by fact. Virgo does not care about the illusion. Virgo does not care about what could be in the ideal. Virgo cares about what is, okay? So basically, Pisces South Node people, you need to get realistic this lifetime, okay? And you need to look at reality. You need to look at what's right in front of your face, instead of looking up into the horizon of something that is in your mind but may never come into fruition. So you have to get real, okay? Now moving to Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node. Now you guys have the opposite issue. You guys come into this life being very analytical, okay? So you have a lot of the traits from Virgo. You may act very Virgo-ish this lifetime. Virgo South Node people can be overly critical and overly detail-oriented, and can be control freaks, basically, because Virgo energy, when it gets out of balance, it can be a control freak, somebody that has to control every single piece of their lives, and if they don't control it, they have a nervous breakdown. Okay, and Virgo South Node people always need to know where they're going. They always need to know what they're doing. They always need to have a plan, and if they don't have a plan, it's like everything is falling apart. So you could be kind of like a hypochondriac, like this lifetime. You could be somebody that worries a lot when you have Virgo South Node. So this can very much get in the way of you achieving your goals, because you may be very much a good worker, and you may be very intelligent and have a lot of skills, but being too Virgo is basically what's holding you back. So being too stuck in reality and not knowing how to believe, how to let go, how to trust the universe, which is very much a Pisces trait. Pisces go with the flow because they trust in the universe to deliver them to their location, no matter how many twists and turns come about on their journey. Okay, so that's you need to let go of the negative traits of Virgo. Keep the positive ones. Keep the positive traits of Virgo, but let go of the negative traits. So with your North Node being in Pisces, you need to embody the energies of Pisces this lifetime. So you have to learn how to let go of controlling your daily life, your daily activities, and what's going on, because it can drive you crazy and it can actually hinder you from getting what it is that you want, because the universe isn't going to deliver to you what you want until you learn to trust, until you surrender action and you surrender needing to know everything. Because Virgo South Node people can want, like I said, want to know every single detail of what's happening. And so you really need to learn how to trust, and you need to have compassion for people, because sometimes people with Virgo South Node can be a little bit too strict and they can be a little bit emotionally cold because they value facts and reality over emotion. But you need to learn to value emotion and emotional connection with other people, and to have compassion for people. Okay, to allow people to take some losses and things like that without being overly critical about what it is that they're doing or what they're not doing right. Okay, so when you find yourself being overly critical about people, you need to put yourself in the other person's shoes, because Pisces North Node is telling you that we're all the same and we all have something in common and we're all connected to each other on an unconscious level. So you really need to tap into that connection with other people, and give people a little bit of a break, okay? And be more open to making emotional connections. Open up your emotions, okay? And allow other people in. Okay, and also you really need to develop your spirituality. So any type of spiritual practice, because people with Virgo South Node are too stuck in reality. Okay, all you know is the daily grind, and that's it. A lot of you guys can be workaholics too. So with your North Node being in Pisces, you need to get more into spiritual practices. So meditation, yoga, Reiki, even tarot reading, healing, divine feminine, whatever it is, you need to start getting in touch with those types of practices, because that is going to open up your pathway to whatever your destiny is in life. Okay, so for the North Node in Pisces, so get into spiritualities. And even if you become a healer or a spiritual teacher, that would be amazing, because your main focus is to connect with the universe and build your faith with the universe. Okay, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed that. Like how many months later, but it's here. If you guys have any questions or anything, go ahead and put it below. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.